Tibians. In this video we will talk about Tibia Tournaments. For those of you who haven't heard about it, tournaments were announced by Cipsoft on May 20, 2019. It was advertised as a new opportunity for ambitious and committed Tibians to prove themselves. In a nutshell, a tournament is a short-lived server with a modified rule set. The rule set defines the pace of a server. It defines playtime, gain rates, and similar. Furthermore, you have a score set, which defines what to do in order to rank high. Cipsoft's basic motivation for tournaments was probably to mimic the hyped race of a new server. On a new server, a lot of people have ambitions to be the first to level 100 or 200. But after a week or a few more, the hype is gone, and these days new servers tend to die out fairly quick. What I want to talk about specifically is how this was advertised as a competition that requires the most efficient and skilled players, and that it was not about how much time you spend playing. Most people will think that it is a fair competition. Everyone starts with the same resources, everyone has the same amount of playtime. The ranking list and individual rewards promote the idea that one player is better than another and that the best player deserves to be at the top. Let me tell you, a full-world Tibia server is an ever-changing environment and can thus never be considered a fair competition. Be the first to log in and you get, for example, advantages with easily accessible dwarven pickaxes. Log in later during the day or week and you will be able to purchase items at a much cheaper price. Log in at a time with few players and you are less likely to get competition on your spawn. Team up with your friends and you get faster charms and party experience bonus. Hitting to the rescue. So far, so good. On a first look, you could still say that all of the mentioned things are part of the new server race, and thus we should accept it as part of the competition. Logging in at the right time becomes part of the strategy, paired with a little bit of luck. Alright, so knowing I can only log in from 15 to 22 PM daily, I'm immediately at disadvantage. Chances for empty spawns are lower, and if I want to score top ranks, this discourages me from joining. The next problem comes in with limited playtime. The idea is nice, almost noble. We don't want to lose against people who are able to play 10 hours a day, because most working people can't. A regular guy can invest maybe 2 hours per day on average, and that is why the total playtime for a week was aimed at 14 hours in the last two tournaments. While the idea of limited playtime seems to promote a fair competition for the average guy, it really does not. Remember that we can play on a world with an ever-changing environment. We can interact with anyone, and time is a valuable resource. The obvious thing for anyone to do would be to outsource time-consuming tasks. The score set so far did evolve around charms and gaining experience. To do both those things efficient and fast, you need money, which also is very limited. So if we manage to outsource the task of gaining money to an alternate character, we gain a huge advantage. It can be friends sharing goods, it can be people selling me gold for Tibia coins, or it can be myself with a second account only to farm extra gold. Any of these things will bring me far ahead in a world with strongly limited resources. A solo player without support can never win against organized sharing of resources between other characters. Any player who doesn't have a chance to enter on two accounts, or without friends backing him up, is highly discouraged on joining the tournament. Individual skill doesn't matter if the conditions between players varies too much. Individual skill and game knowledge does contribute to you ranking better, but in the end you will always lose to people who in some way outsource time-consuming tasks like gaining money. So what if we eliminate the money aspect on tournaments? At least on restricted servers. Everyone gets millions to go, and that should solve the problem? Sadly, it doesn't. It reduces the problem, but it doesn't solve it. Time still is a valuable resource. We don't only spend it when making money. We also spend it when resupplying. If I have a friend bringing me supplies everywhere I hunt, then I can likely save anything between 1 to 2 hours. For the top ranks, that is huge. And this same principle can be applied to store servers. If you really want to win, you outsource time-consuming tasks. That includes attacking competitors and wasting their time. And that's where the tournament stops being fun for me. I want to show that I'm the most efficient at hunting a spawn. I will be 3 minutes faster clearing a place compared to some other guy with exactly the same character. But I can't show this because the other guy might have 5 times more supplies available. Or he has 10 more magic level because he bought money from another character for Tibia coins. It's pay to win, that's all it is about. That's how I was able to get rank 2 and 1 together with Tibia Lee on the restricted store server Enduro. We basically bought our first and second place by paying a double entry fee and adding 10 hours of playtime on those extra characters. Nothing about it was a fair competition purely decided by skills. Where I am going with this is the following. Full world tournaments where anyone can interact with anyone will never be a fair competition. It is a complex environment where the amount of time invested into the leading characters matters the most. It involves complex politics, where people pay others or make alternate characters to disturb competitors. Individual skills as a solo player without support stand no chance. If I want to show off how good I am at hunting, there is no point for me to join. I'm rather discouraged because my optimizations are beaten tenfold by different funding and different levels of disturbance. And in a 14-hour window, disturbances will happen. And they will overshadow a lot of the optimizations made. 14 hours competition time is way too long for high performance. Imagine a 14 hours league game. Sure, we can accept full world tournaments as they are and say it requires cooperation in order to win. But then the individual rewards make little sense. There should be teams competing instead, with team rewards. And if solo players are discouraged to join, then I believe Cipsoft loses out on a lot of potential player base. If Cipsoft wants to reach solo players, then the best solution for tournaments would be short controllable instances. Challenges where you in 10 to 240 minutes need to prove that you are better than anyone else without random interference. It can be solo or team challenges. Part of the challenge can even be selecting your character stats and gear out of a certain range of possibilities. Prove your hunting efficiency, prove your survival skills, prove your ability to solve quests, on even terms. That would be truly motivating for many players. Tournaments in their current state are a disaster. The first one caused a huge uproar, and the second one even more. Cipsoft's lack of communication makes things even worse. After the first official tournament, we heard nothing for months. Then suddenly it gets revived, sold as improved solution. We get a week's notice on the conditions, and a thread with the occasional answer from a CM. The result was a tournament even worse than the previous one, with an exploitable pisshead hopping bug. And then again, weeks of waiting. Disqualifications, yay me, and now again silence. Come on, Cipsoft, you can do so much better. Start communicating with your players. Work with us. Create a focus group. Talk to us. Do something progressive. Or drop this project right away, because the way you are going, tournaments have no future. Currently, tournaments seem to become a short-term money grab at the cost of your company reputation. Do things right, and players will praise you instead. I hope you take a chance and try to make things right. Good luck.